Hi, biologists. It is Thursday, so it's Science Day. You are going to receive a relatively long email, and I just wanted to kind of walk you through the email to help you shortcut a little bit, but I wanted to make sure you had all the information necessary. So the email is going to look like this. Maybe a few changes just between now and when I send it out, but for the most part, it's going to look like this. It's going to go through and talk to those of you who have decided to continue learning biology for a letter grade. There's 4 weeks of learning. And so in that 4 weeks, it kind of outlines what we're going to be doing. It also, please know that if you have decided that you are going to just opt for the grade that you currently have, it is absolutely okay if at any point in time you want to jump back in and learn some of the material. That's totally fine. And so I will continue to send it out to everybody throughout the next 4 weeks. In this document, you're going to see it's going to provide a sequence of things that I want you to do. So if you see this big red action, that means you actually need to be doing something in that section. First, action. If you are not on Remind 101, there's a link right here. You're going to click it. It will take you right to our Remind 101 class. Please get signed up. If you sign up with your phone, I know it's a lot easier if you have one. If you're somewhere and you have a question, you can send me a question. That's a great way for us to communicate. I can put video links there. I can voice record. I can do a lot of different things, as can you. So please get yourself signed up on Remind 101. It also lets me know who really is interested in continuing with the class. Second, action. This is going to be really important, and I know a number of you are signed up, but I still have a lot more of you who have said you're continuing with biology who are not signed up. You have to get signed up on Edpuzzle. You are going to click on the Edpuzzle link. It is going to take you to this site here. Oh, this is my site, so it's not going to take you to this site. You're not going to get to see that. However, it will take you to the Edpuzzle site. And then if I go back to my email, if you're going to log in with your Google account, your Google School account. And then it's going to ask you to enter the class code. I've listed our class codes if you're in first, second, third, or fourth, first, second, third, fifth, or sixth period. Please enter in that class, because in PowerSchool, you're still there according to the classes, even though now it probably really doesn't matter. But for grading purposes, for me, to make sure you get rewarded the credit you're due, please get yourself signed in there. I can tell you this week, 20 of the 50 points that are going to go into PowerSchool come from you completing Edpuzzle videos. And so you absolutely have to get signed into those classes. If you have any problems with that, please let me know. Third, this document is a very long document, but it is basically like a new syllabus since our learning has changed. I wanted to give you our office hours, our expectations, and then just an outline of what you're going to be learning the rest of this trimester, which is just 4 weeks. And so this document, it is for all of biology. So Mr. Feuerbach, Mr. Oswald, and myself. Our office hours are right here. My office hours are right here. And so Monday and Wednesday at 1 p.m. If I find that that's not working out for everybody, we can definitely change that up. For the most part, if you need something, I'm available or accessible to my phone or my computer throughout the week, Monday, Friday. So just shoot me a remind message or an email. Expectations. We will provide biology lessons, activities, practice, and assessments each Thursday. So science will come out Thursday. I will get that posted before 10 a.m. That covers the learning goals and vocabulary for each topic. All materials and assessments should be completed by the following Thursday. And so we're giving you basically a certain materials, a sequence in how to do those materials, and a week to get them done, because we know that you probably have other things going on in your life, and so when you have time, you can get them done. I know watching it happen in my own house, I know that my son gets the information from his class and he works very hard to try to get all of it done in that day. And so he then basically is doing a class or two a day. That's great. If you want to do it that way, you definitely can. You might want to spread it out just so you can retain some of the information. But any way that you want to do it, that's up to you and what works best in your schedule. If the deadline cannot be made, please communicate with your teacher. We are going to be very generous with that. Okay? All right, demonstrating understanding. Engagement in lessons, activities, and practice is important to earning credit during this continuous learning process. That's pretty much how I'm going to know if you're engaged, is if you're doing the stuff. While these opportunities will not all be graded for points, they are essential for understanding the material and an opportunity for your teacher to provide you with feedback and support your learning. Your overall understanding for each weekly topic will be assessed with a quiz, including multiple choice, short answer, and free response questions. And those will be in the form of Google Forms. And I know you're at home, so they're basically open note. If you have stuff and you are confused, reflect back on your notes. I'm totally fine with that. All graded components will be eligible for remediation. So if you're not happy with your score, we can always look back at that. Each week, the required material will be identified and highlighted in yellow, just like I've done here. And so you're going to see that in just a moment on the learning pathways. If you have any questions, again, make sure you communicate and reach out to your teacher. And then I just go through week 1. We're going to talk about heredity, meiosis, and Mendelian genetics. Week 2, we're going to stay with heredity, maybe clear anything up from the week before, and then go beyond Mendel and look at patterns of inheritance. Week 3, we're going to talk about evolution and natural selection, survival of the fittest. And then the last week of our learning before we go on summer break, which seems so bizarre to me, is going to look at evolution, evidence of common descent, and what scientists have to say about that. If you are a senior, make sure that you pay attention to the deadlines in there. I don't believe I have any, though. All right, going back to the email. So that's the document. Going back to the email, the fourth thing that I want you to do is actually requiring action. And I'm going to jump over this first, and I'm going to skip down to the 5th. This 4th document, this is everything you need to know to do well this week. But I know sometimes you want to just be told what to do instead of trying to sift through it all. And so this 5th action, too much information, and you just want me to tell you what is required this week, selecting this learning pathway, or select the learning pathway you want to follow and get to work. Everything highlighted in yellow is required and will be awarded points in PowerSchool. And you see that I have provided a basic learning pathway. So this is, if you want just a basic learning pathway, kind of the minimum, not a lot of in-depth learning, you're going to follow this. First thing you want to do is build some vocabulary. You can do that through the Quizlet. Some of you did this because I had posted it last week. Or I also made a video talking about Mendelian genetics vocabulary. The second thing, this is a required action, and it's in yellow. So this is one that's going to get 10 points in the gradebook. You are going to log into that Edpuzzle, and you will see that you have been assigned Meiosis Song by Peter Wetherill. So if I take you back to this Edpuzzle, you're going to get into your classroom, and basically you're going to see, oh, here, I have these things assigned. So Meiosis Song by Peter Wetherill. It's kind of fun. You're going to go through it. It's going to stop you. You're going to answer some questions, and so on and so forth. I want you to notice something in here real quick. I have 3 Edpuzzles assigned. You actually are only required to do 2 of them. You'll do the meiosis one, and then you're going to choose between Mendelian genetics lesson or Mendelian genetics, how to determine probability. You can select either one of those, but please don't, you do not have to do both of them. Okay, go back to my email. Number 3, required quiz. Meiosis, sexual reproduction. And so you're going to just click on this link here. It'll take you to a Google form. You're going to fill out the quiz. I'll get the answers. I'll score it. And then you'll get to know what you did. So literally, when you get this, you could review your vocab, watch the video, and take the meiosis quiz. The fourth thing is another Edpuzzle. It tells you which one I would suggest to do for the basic level. That's 10 points. Some instructional practice. This is actually a video that there's a handout here. There's a key. And then I actually have gone through step by step and explained how to do questions 1 through 5 and then questions 6 through 8. If doing Punnett squares seems relatively confusing to you, I really encourage you to watch these videos that I've explained. And then the last thing that you'll need to do is take the heredity, Mendel, and probability quiz. That's worth 20 points. And so my suggestion would be to break this over a few days. If you want to try to slam it into one, you absolutely can. It probably is going to require 2.5 to 3 hours in total. But that's your choice. The intermediate learning pathway, you also could choose. Now, you're going to choose one or the other. You're not going to choose both. The assessments are the same. The intermediate learning pathway just gives you another sequence. Again, you're building vocabulary. You're going to watch the Edpuzzle meiosis. You're going to do the quiz. And then it has you do the other Edpuzzle, how to determine probability. If you are interested in the genetics problems and doing probability problems, meaning you want to know, okay, if I have detached earlobes, what's the chances of my kids having detached earlobes? If you want to be able to work problems like that and you really enjoy that, then the intermediate pathway is probably the one that you want to choose. Again, you can do the SpongeBob Genetics handout and watch those explained videos, but there's also an optional practice here in the monohybrid practice problems, and then I also give you some videos of me explaining them, and then I give you keys of the rest of them, and then you wrap it up with doing the heredity, Mendel, and probability quiz. Now, for some of you, you're going to think that probability is pretty cool. You're going to enjoy these problems. This is one of my favorite things to do. You might enjoy genetics and want to go a little deeper and try the extension. This is optional. This means you do not have to do this. The quiz points that you take at the end, they will go in as bonus points, so that could maybe be a plus. However, this is all in above and beyond what my expectation is. If you notice, nothing here is highlighted in yellow. But it's doing a dihybrid cross, so it's looking at 2 traits. So for example, what are the chances that my children will not only have free earlobes, but what are the chances that they also might have dimples? So those looking at 2 traits together. And then there is a probability quiz at the end that you can take, and that will not go against you. It will only be beneficial for you. So if you want to jump ahead and just say, hey, I just want to get busy learning this stuff, then jump to the bottom here. Now, if you are like, hey, I'm not getting this, I need some extra help, I'm really not understanding this, then I've given you that option 4. In option 4, I have thoroughly explained everything and all resources that you need to be successful this week. I would encourage you to look at our learning goals. Because not only did I tell you students will be able to explain the role of meiosis in sexual reproduction and genetic variation, I have given you the answer to that. So basically what I'm saying is that if you go through these learning goals, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you feel really confident with those, then you probably are going to be really confident with the material. Again, I've given you some additional background resources. Let's say, hey, I'm just not quite getting this. I want to try another video. I've given you the interactive activities. You've already seen some practice, want more practice, and then the check your understanding. And so if I go back to my email, that was the 4th action, the 5th action, and then that gives you exactly what you need to do this week to be successful. Good luck, biologists. Hope to hear from you. Peace out.